Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking closely at John chapter 11,
Right, the story of Lazarus. It starts in Bethany near Jerusalem.
and it focuses on this family. Jesus clearly cares about Lazarus, Martha, and Mary.
Yeah, and the text reminds us who Mary is, the one who anointed Jesus' feet. It establishes that close connection right away.
So Lazarus gets sick, really sick, and the sisters send word to Jesus.
And their message is simple, very personal. Lord, the one you love is sick. It's an appeal based on that relationship.
Okay, so you hear that, Jesus loves them.
Mm-hmm.
You'd expect him to drop everything and go.
You would. But the text says, even though he loved them when he heard the news, well, he stayed put for 2 more days.
Right, he deliberately waits. It's
Yes,
unexpected.
it really is. And his first comment on hearing the news is also significant. He says, this sickness will not end in death. No, it is for God's glory.
So that God's Son may be glorified through it.
Yeah.
He's already framing the outcome, even as he delays.
Mm-hmm. That delay feels counterintuitive, doesn't it? Waiting 2 days when your friend is gravely ill.
It does. What's the thinking there? It seems like love would mean immediate action.
Well, maybe the takeaway here is that divine love, in this story at least, operates differently sometimes. It's not about preventing the crisis.
But about allowing it to unfold for a greater purpose,
Yeah.
a bigger display of glory.
Exactly. His absence becomes key for the miracle that's coming. So after waiting, he says to his disciples, okay, let's go back to Judea.
Back to Judea, where they just tried to stone him. The disciples are understandably alarmed.
Oh, absolutely. They remind him straight away, Rabbi, they just tried to stone you, and you're going back there.
Real fear for his safety. And Jesus' response is, well, it's a bit puzzling.
It is. He talks about walking in the daytime versus the nighttime, seeing by this world's light versus stumbling in the dark.
How does that answer their concern about, being attacked again?
It seems like he's suggesting he's operating on a different timetable, a divine one.
Yeah.
Guided by a different light, maybe. So the earthly dangers, the night, don't stop him.
Interesting. Then he shifts back to Lazarus, but confuses them again.
Right. He says, our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep, but I am going there to wake him up.
And asleep. They just hear literal sleep, right? Like he's resting and getting better.
Exactly. They think, oh, if he's sleeping, he'll recover. They miss the metaphor for death entirely.
So Jesus has to spell it out for them.
Yeah, he says it plainly. Lazarus is dead.
Oh.
And then he adds something really striking. And for your sake, I am glad I was not there, so that you may believe. But let us go to him.
Glad he wasn't there. That still sounds jarring. Glad his friend died.
Well, glad in the sense that his absence allowed the situation to become undeniably hopeless from a human standpoint. It sets the stage for a miracle that can't be explained away.
So it wasn't just healing from sickness. It had to be resurrection from death, so that you may believe for the disciples' faith.
Precisely. It makes you think, doesn't it? How sometimes difficult situations might be allowed so the eventual resolution shows something much bigger.
It's a challenging thought. And then Thomas speaks up. Didymus.
Yeah, his reaction to going back into danger is famous. Let us also go that we may die with him.
It's quite bleak, but also loyal, in a way. Shows the fear, but also the commitment.
Definitely. So they finally get to Bethany, and the situation is grim.
Lazarus has been in the tomb for 4 days already.
4 days, which in that context meant death was absolutely certain. No ambiguity.
And Bethany's close to Jerusalem, so a lot of people come out to mourn with Martha and Mary. It's a public scene.
Yes, lots of witnesses. And when Martha hears Jesus is nearby, she doesn't wait. She goes right out to meet him.
While Mary stays inside, maybe just overcome.
Could be. Martha meets Jesus, and her first words are just raw honesty.
Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. Pain, but also faith in his power to have prevented it.
But then she immediately adds, but I know that even now God will give you whatever you ask. She's still holding on to some kind of hope, even facing the impossible.
And Jesus responds directly to that hope. He tells her, your brother will rise again.
And Martha confirms, yes, I know, in the resurrection at the last day. She's thinking of the general future resurrection belief.
Standard belief at the time. But then Jesus redirects her completely.
This is the core moment, isn't it? He doesn't just talk about a future event, he makes it about himself, right now.
I am the resurrection and the life.
He who believes in me will live, even though he dies, and whoever lives and believes in me will never die. It's an incredible claim.
Shifting resurrection from an event to his very person. And then he asks her directly.
"Do you believe this?" Putting it right to her.
And her answer is so clear, so powerful.
"Yes, Lord, I believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God, who is to come into the world." A full confession of faith in his identity.
Amazing. After that intense exchange, she goes back for Mary.
Tells her quietly, "The teacher is here and asking for you."
And Mary gets up immediately and goes, Jesus is still waiting outside the village.
And the mourners see her leave suddenly and follow her, assuming she's going to the tomb.
Which means even more people end up witnessing what happens next.
Right. Mary reaches Jesus, falls at his feet, and says almost the same thing Martha did.
Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. That shared lament.
And seeing her weeping and all the others weeping with her, this is where Jesus' own emotion comes through strongly.
The text says he was deeply moved in spirit and troubled.
Deeply moved. Even knowing what he's about to do, their grief affects him profoundly. It shows his humanity, his empathy.
He asks where they laid Lazarus. Come and see, Lord, they say.
And then that verse, just 2 words.
Jesus wept.
Yeah.
So simple, so powerful.
Says so much about his compassion, and the people watching react differently.
Some see his tears and say, see how he loved him.
But others are questioning. Okay, he opened the eyes of the blind man. Couldn't he have stopped this from happening?
Yeah, remembering past miracles with questioning why this tragedy wasn't prevented.
Mm.
It shows how people interpret things differently.
True. So Jesus, still deeply moved, gets to the tomb, a cave, with the stone blocking the entrance.
And he gives the command, take away the stone.
A bold command, but Martha, practical Martha, objects.
Understandably. Lord, she says, by this time there is a bad odor, for he has been there 4 days. She's stating the physical reality of decomposition.
The undeniable fact of death. But Jesus gently pushes back, reminding her
of their conversation. Did I not tell you that if you believed, you would see the glory of God?
Calling her back to faith, connecting belief with seeing God's glory. So they roll the stone away.
And Jesus looks up and prays. But he specifically says he's praying aloud for the crowd.
Yeah, Father, I thank you that you have heard me. I said this for the benefit of the people standing here, that they may believe that you sent me.
He's explicitly linking the coming miracle to his identity and mission for everyone watching.
And then, the climax. He calls out, loud voice.
Lazarus, come out!
Imagine the silence then, movement. The dead man came out.
Still wrapped in burial cloths, hands and feet bound, face covered, just walking out.
Astonishing. And Jesus' final words are simple, practical. Take off the grave clothes and let him go. Life restored.
The impact is immediate. What happens to the crowd?
Well, it splits. Many of the Jews there, seeing this undeniable miracle, put their faith in Jesus, just as he intended.
Belief sparked by overwhelming evidence. But not everyone.
No. Some of them go straight to the Pharisees and report everything Jesus did.
Tattling, basically.
Yeah.
And that report triggers an emergency meeting.
The chief priests and Pharisees convene the Sanhedrin, the ruling council. Their reaction isn't wonder, it's fear.
Political fear. What are we doing, they ask. This man is performing too many signs. If we let him continue, everyone will believe in him.
And the Romans will come and take away our place, our position, our nation. They see him as a destabilizing force, threatening their power and relationship with Rome.
It's all about control and potential Roman backlash.
And Caiaphas, the high priest that year, cuts through the discussion with a chilling statement.
You know nothing, he says. It's better for you that one man die for the people than that the whole nation perish.
Just cold political calculation. Though the narrator points out he was, in a way, prophesying Jesus' sacrificial death for a wider purpose.
Unintentionally prophesying, perhaps, but the immediate result is deadly serious.
Absolutely. From that day on, they plotted to take his life. The miracle directly leads to the official decision to eliminate him.
Wow. So after all that, Jesus pulls back. He
Yeah.
withdraws.
He takes his disciples and goes to a village called Ephraim, near the desert, away from the immediate danger in Judea.
But Passover's coming up. People are heading towards Jerusalem.
Right, lots of people going for the festival, for purification rituals, and there's buzz in the temple courts.
People are wondering, will he show up? Will Jesus dare come to the feast?
There's anticipation, searching, but also tension, because the orders are out.
The chief priests and Pharisees have ordered anyone who sees him to report his location so they can arrest him.
So this chapter, John 11, it's just packed. Sickness, delay, grief, this monumental I am statement, death being overturned.
And then this immediate stark division. Faith for many, but deadly opposition from the leadership. setting the stage for everything that follows.
It really lays out the stakes, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
Yeah,
So when you look back at this whole narrative, this complex picture emerges.
absolutely.
You see this deep personal faith from Martha and Mary, even amidst their grief. You see many witnesses genuinely moved to belief by the sheer power of the miracle. But then, right alongside that,
You see fear, calculation, power politics. The leaders aren't denying the miracle happened, are they? They seem to accept it, this man performing many miraculous signs.
right, but their response isn't faith, it's plotting his death to preserve their status.
Yeah.
So thinking about that mix, radical faith, new belief, and determined opposition, all sparked by the same event, what does that contrast tell you about how belief works, or maybe fails to work, when confronted with the extraordinary, especially when power and fear are involved?